In this scenario, a question will be prompted to the user who needs to answer. In our case here, 20 minus 13 is 7. So if the answer is right, the user will be redirected to the adult page. If the answer is wrong, nothing happens. And of course, we would be able to send the user a message or something like that. But the idea again is just to show how to do the principle. So for this particular scenario, what we need is something like this. We are going to need text. In my case here, I'm calling this text ask layer. So its question will appear here. The layer answer is this one. Answer will be inputted here. Okay, and we are going to need a few variables, and this is the way we need to compare things using variables. Okay, so for this particular scenario here, which is very simple, it's just one question per app. We are going to need at least three variables. The first one I'm calling questions, and although I'm calling question, in fact it's just one question. But because it's just one question, I'm setting this variable as a text, and I pretty much enter the question here. What is 20 minus 13? Okay, so I'm not saving any answer, correct, right answer here. It's just a simple text. If you decide to have more than one question that can be randomically selected every time that a user try to do that, I mean, things get a little bit more complex, but in this case, you are going to need to use the variable as a table and enter the data in the different scenarios. This is not the purpose of this tutorial. Maybe next ones. So the idea here again is to cover the most simple scenario, which is one question and one answer. So we have the variable named questions, the content of the value of the variable, and it's a text in its local. So I'm going to save it. Then I need to have another variable containing the correct answer. So I'm naming this variable right answer, and it's 7 in our case. And the reason I'm setting this as a text because the user is going to enter a text input. So in order to avoid comparing numbers with letters, so I'm pretty much set. Everything's going to be treated as string, not as a number. So this value is 7, and again it's local, it's text, and I'll save that. Then I'll need a third variable, which is the user input. I'm gonna collect the user input in this variable called user answer. It's blank, and it's going to be a text as well. Okay, so I have these three variables. Then I had to edit our action here, because now the only way the user will be sent to the parental page is if, again, a condition happens. So what I did here was I create an if condition, and I pretty much am comparing the user answer. If the user answer is equal to the right answer, I create that. What we are going to do is we are going to move to the next page. Okay, and as you know already, if I open an if, I have to end the if, and this is our new action. So the last thing that I need to do, I have to do two other things here. The first one is I have to select the ask, which again, and set it as a dynamic text. Here we go, dynamic text, which I did already. So, and this dynamic text is pretty much capturing text from an external source, in our case, in this variable called questions, and replacing this text from Photoshop with the content of these variable questions here. So, and then I have to do the same for the answer. The answer is not a dynamic text, is a text input replacement. So I did it already. And what I'm telling here is I'm going to use the default keyboard on the device. I'm not going to be able to see it on the simulator, but on the device it's going to be the default one. And I'm going to save the entry of the user when the user hit the enter or the OK button on the device, in our case here on the computer, that enter or return. the content of the input will be saved in the variable user answer. Okay, and this is going to be the input. And also what we are going to do is we are going to, as soon as the user enter that, we are going to run the act page to action. So this way, again, the comparison is going to happen, and if it's everything's okay, the user will be sent to the other page. So I'm going to create this and publish. And this pretty much what happens. The text from Photoshop, the question will appear here, will be replaced by the question, and the user will get the ability to enter the input here 7, which is the right result. So this is the adult page.